Earth, our blue planet, the third rocky frontier in the solar system. A very familiar place, but also a sea. The only place with life in the universe that we know so far. Over the centuries, people have been using millions of lenses to the sky every day and observing the universe. Our knowledge of the universe is getting better and better, but there are still many seas that we cannot fully understand. Right now, let's learn about our big home with the Explore and Discuss. The solar system, or solar system, is a planetary system consisting of the main star, the sun, and the celestial bodies orbiting around it, bound together by gravity. The solar system is located on the edge of a spiral galaxy with a diameter of about 100,000 to 150,000 light years, called the Milky Way, located about 30,000 light years from the center of the Milky Way in the Lac Ho branch. It moves at a speed of about 220 km per second. One revolution of the solar system around the galaxy lasts up to 250 million years. It is estimated that from its formation until now, the solar system has completed 18 revolutions around the center of the galaxy, or what we call 18 galactic years. This is a simulated image. The sun drags the planets moving in the galaxy. It may look very chaotic, but in fact, it has remained so for billions of years. It can be said that we are moving very stably in disorder. If viewed from the outside, the entire solar system would be like a sphere with a boundary of about 1 light year, corresponding to 50,000 astronomical units, or it could be as wide as 1.85 light years. This is the distance of the cloud surrounding the sun. This cloud includes meteors, meteorites, and icy dust. The cloud was formed in the early days of the solar system because gravity is not strong enough to concentrate them into planets or asteroids. They remain scattered in space. Many hypotheses suggest that meteorites were formed from here. It can be said that the chili pepper is the last boundary of the solar system. The closest planet to the Sun is Neptune, with a distance of 30 AU equal to 4.5 billion kilometers. Next, gradually inward is Uranus, with a distance of 19.6 AU equal to 2.94 billion kilometer. The color star is 5.2 AU equal to 780 million kilometers. Closer from 2.3 to 3.3 AU is the asteroid belt. Innermost is Mars, 1.5 AU equal to 225 million kilometers. Innermost is Earth, 1 AU equal to 150 million kilometers. Venus, 0.7 AU equal to 108 million kilometers. And the innermost is Mercury, 0.4 AU equal to 58 million kilometers. Because the orbits of the planets are always elliptical, and the planets also interact with each other, the distances mentioned above will not be fixed. In addition, the planes of the planets are also not uniform, and we take the orbital plane of the Earth as the ecliptic plane, and this plane is inclined 60 degrees compared to the plane of the Milky Way. Light from the Sun takes 245 minutes to reach the outermost planet, Neptune. The planets, and it takes about a year to travel the entire solar system. Beyond the planets, beyond them lies the Kuiper Belt, which extends from 30 to 50 AU. This is also a belt of asteroids and meteoroids, similar to the inner asteroid belt of Jupiter. There are also a number of dwarf planets, planetary moons, and countless free asteroids. Today, we are still learning about the solar system. The first spacecraft to explore the planets in the solar system were Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Both were launched in 1977. To this day, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, are still continuing their journey into space. It is estimated that they have flown about 18 billion kilometers from Earth. In 1997, the Cassini spacecraft continued its mission. Its main goal is to explore the gas planets in the outer solar system. These planets have many large satellites, and scientists believe that it is very likely that one of them will have a suitable environment for life to exist. We will review all the planets in the solar system, but first, we need a starting point. The most prominent, located at the center, is none other than the Sun, the only luminous body in the solar system. All basic information about the Sun has been provided in the previous video. In this video, I will not repeat it again. You can watch the video again using the link below. Next, we come to Mercury, the smallest planet in the solar system, and also the closest to the Sun, at a distance of 58 million kilometers. Mercury is 60% smaller than Earth. It has weak gravity, no satellite base, and almost no atmosphere. If a person weighs 68 kilo on Earth, then on Mercury, they only weigh 25 kilo. Mercury is made up of 70% metal and 30% silicate. It has a diameter of 4,880 kilometer and a mass of about 3.3 quadrillion tons. Mercury takes 88 days to complete one orbit around the Sun, but 180 days to orbit itself. It is essentially a dead planet, as it has no more any geological activity. The temperature during the day is about 430 degrees Celsius, and at night it drops to minus 173 degrees Celsius. In 1974, the Mariner 10 probe explored some of Mercury. 30 years later, NASA continued to launch the Metzinger spacecraft, and it took panoramic pictures of the planet's surface. In general, the surface of Mercury is covered with traces of meteorite collisions, and this place is completely unsuitable for life. If observed from Earth, we can see Mercury in the early morning or late sunset. Next is the outer, 108,200,000 kilometers away from the Sun, is Venus, a planet with countless special things. Venus is about the same size and mass as the Earth. It has no satellites, but has a dense atmosphere. If a person weighs 68 kilos on the Earth, the feet of Venus will weigh 62 kilo. We do not really understand the composition of this planet, but it is likely that Venus has a similar composition to Earth, including a core, mantle, and crust. The diameter of Venus is 12,092 kilometers, which is 650 kilometers smaller than Earth. Its mass is 81.5% of Earth's mass, which is about 4.8 million billion tons. Venus takes 225 days to rotate once around the Sun, which is equivalent to nearly 8 months on Earth. One rotation on its axis lasts up to 234 days, longer than the time it takes to orbit the Sun. And what is more special is that Venus rotates backwards compared to all the planets in the solar system. Scientists believe that Venus had a very strong collision with a meteorite in the past, and this collision disrupted the rotation of this planet. Unlike Mercury, Venus is very electrically active, and it is. The planet with the most volcanoes in the solar system, Venus's atmosphere is covered with carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. It often has vinegar phenomena with criteria 1,000 times stronger than on Earth. Air pressure is 92 times that of Earth, equivalent to the pressure when we dive into water. With a depth of 1 kilometer, surface temperature is 470 degrees Celsius. With this temperature, Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. As the closest planet to Earth, Venus is called Earth's twin sister. A few hundred years ago, scientists always thought that Venus also had tropical forests and oceans like Earth, but after the first explorations of space probes, it gave a completely opposite answer. Explorations of this planet began in 1966. The first ship was Venera 3 of the Soviet Union. It was the first man-made device of humans to collide with another planet. But almost immediately, the ship was completely broken, and it did not send any data back to Earth. After that, the Venera program continued until 1985, and then Venera 15 and 16. Along with the Soviet Union, the American Space Agency NASA also approached this planet with the Mariner 2, Mariner 5, and Mariner 10 spacecraft. With so much hope and imagination of scientists, Venus is like the medulla. It is not suitable for life to exist. On Earth, we can easily observe Venus because it is the second brightest object in the night sky after the Moon. Because the orbit is inside the orbit of the Earth, we cannot see Venus appearing high in the sky. Sometimes it is the evening star rising in the evening. Sometimes it is the morning star rising in the morning. Next, further than Venus on the orbit of the solar system is none other than our planet, the Earth. To this day, Earth is the only planet known to have life. Planet Earth is made up mostly of rock. In general, the structure includes an iron core, a mantle, and an outer shell consisting of oceans, electric floodplates, and an atmosphere that is strong enough to sustain life. The Earth is about 150 million kilometers from the Sun. Its diameter is 12,142 kilometers, with an approximate mass of 6 million trillion. The Moon is about 378,032 kilometers away. From the Earth, the Moon is about the same size as the Sun, because the Sun rises 400 times higher than the Moon, and is also 400 times farther from the Earth than the Moon. The first artificial satellite was launched into orbit by the Soviet Union in 1957. To date, there have been 3,700 satellites orbiting the Earth. Of these, 1,100 are in operation, the rest are broken satellites, and people still have no way to clean them up. The Earth revolves around the Sun. It takes 365.2 days to rotate at a speed of 107,000 kilometers h, axis in 23 hours, 56 minutes, 4 seconds with a speed of 1,675 kilometers h. The Earth's rotation axis is tilted at 23 degrees, giving us spring, summer, autumn, and winter, with an average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius. The coldest is Antarctica, with a peak of 91.2 degrees Celsius, and the hottest is in the Iranian desert. The peak in 2015 was 70.4 degrees Celsius. The Earth's geological activity is quite weak. The percentage of the surface is covered by water, and 99% of the living space is also a water environment. The average temperature of the Earth is increasing day by day. In addition to natural reasons, there is a very important reason that the air environment is being destroyed by humans. Along with that, urbanization and population explosion also makes human life more and more difficult. Scientists predict that life on Earth will only exist for a maximum of 1.5 billion years if nothing happens. But in reality, cosmic manifestations are still threatening our lives every day. Therefore, finding a new home for humanity is extremely necessary. In the next few centuries, humans will live on many different planets outside of Earth. It is completely possible, and we have the right to hope for this. See you again in the next videos.